Good evening, everyone. How are all of these most beautiful people? Who are you tonight? Well, shall we go to the next assignment? I couldn't find a hard copy of the book, but here it is. Creating a world that works for all. And we've got our little spiral there in the middle. And if you'll bear with me, it's not very much. Yep, it is by Sharif Abdullah. And we get into the introduction here, and we go down to terminology and names. And we'll go to the second paragraph. America is the driving force behind the worldwide spread of breaker consciousness in our era. And he talks about that earlier. There's this breaker, which is bad, and mender, which is good. So America is a driving force behind, what is bad, this breaker consciousness. Americans are the trouble that is troubling the world. So I think I found, the key sentence of what this book is all about. You're American, you bad, you bad. We good, you bad. So I felt like that was all I needed to know, but I wanted to know more about Sharif with that fascinating name. And I looked him up. He's in Wiki, and he was born Sherwood James Sanders in Philadelphia. So we have someone who's a bit of a trickster here. And we've got a place where he is part of, and yes, the Sarvodaya Shramandana Sangamaya, and he's currently part of that. So let's go there. And it's got its whole little website, of course, with its whole little charity navigator. Yeah, that's a little thing that tries to just get you to donate to all these things. But here was one of the board of directors at the bottom, and just because it was sort of at the bottom and she was there, I just thought, well, let's look into one of them. There's a bunch. Let's look into one of them. One of them worked for World Bank, right? So she's the director of First Book, a nonprofit, which we know always means profit, right? Distribution of books and educational material. Okay, so what kind of books and educational material is Hermilie Russell spewing out into the world? Well, here it is. And this to me is like that death thing, It's even beyond the Waldorf in me, but Waldorf put it so well. Rudolf Steiner said, "Never put into a child's hands that which is not worthy of the child." Is that old Slick Willie? Is he there with something he come? And so, it's got all this, impact on children, and they've got the world's crappiest books imaginable, like soul-killing illustrations, just really, really bad, and Steiner was so good about talking about that. It made me have to flee to a good illustration. There's Maurice Sendak from Where the Wild Things Are. I knew someone who met him at a party, and he told her that all of his monsters, he drew them all from his relatives. So we've got like, here's something that's not even one I know. It's an adorable mouse. The world of the visual of our eyes is just so darn precious. Even with really simple books. This was one of my fave simple books. Go Dog Go. It just had like this adorable little illustration. So it's not like it has to be Andrew Wyeth or something, although Andrew Wyeth is wonderful, and I don't know where my books ended up that were from the 1920s that had these incredible Andrew Wyeths in them with, like onion papers, so they would be preserved, and these, fabulous, fabulous imagery. So it's like, or The Owl and the Pussycat. This is kind of a more modern one. Jan Brett is utterly fabulous. This one's even fun for adults. A really great children's book is. So it was just like, who are these people getting millions of dollars? I wonder, I've got to look deeper into this first book thing. When my daughter was like little in school, I remember finding so many scammy like literacy programs headed up by our little pedo there, Mr. Adrenochrome himself. Am I gonna get in trouble for this one? I get in trouble too much. Green pants, God knows what that even means. So they've got these just propaganda, bad books, not good books. And then there was something about how this, they kept talking about equitable. So I don't know, things used to be about equality, and now, yes, educational equity. So, they just keep getting into this weird jargon, more and more and more. Yep, there's the donate button, So he's going to be coming and talking on Saturday if any of you want to come. It's another dumb clip art. Clip art stuff. So here it is. It's the U.S.'s most big thing, it says, and yet it looks like it's run by people from like Sri Lanka or something. I don't know. Like, the whole thing is just, okay, Project Hope, global health. When I look at that stuff, you just slippery. Yeah, there's something slippery about it, all right. I just don't trust any of them. And this one, this is a sly thing. Uh-oh, am I gonna have to go? He was at the World Bank, which is like beyond evil. It's like, who are these people, And it's so weird about how this guy was writing about how Abdullah, that Americans are the trouble that is troubling the world, and yet they love Obama, and Obama's the one who bombed the holy heck out of them. I remember, like, my daughter was really young during that time, but I remember seeing these pictures where he was like bombing wedding parties and outrageous stuff. So am I supposed to go there as a former person who worked at the World Trade Center and go and turn over and let this guy spank my bottom, who's from Philly? What is his name again? Sherwood from Philly. I want to know who dated him. I want to know what they have to say. And he's not even saying that, like, it's, the American kind of elite, or, because, there's there's a government, and then there are the people under the government, right, who don't really have anything to do with anything. But he's saying Americans, that American people, Americans are the trouble that is troubling the world. From a guy who probably thinks women are below a goat. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And that is how he can create a world that works for all. It's got this sweet little title, and you only have to go 6 pages down to find out what it is. And here's one who was a consultant in DC, not from America. All these consultants just coming here telling us how bad we are. This one's a vice president at Citigroup. Isn't that like a bad US thing? And she got her BS at Wharton School. Isn't that a bad US thing? And here's a guy based in Washington, D.C. Isn't that an evil place to be based? If America's so bad? And who's this? Coonrod. He's in the Hunger Project. Gender-focused, community-led DC guy. Someone from Sri Lanka. Women's Chamber of Commerce. And here's the president. He's kind of a little more sharp looking. He's got that Matt Getz hair going. And he is in medicine and Lord knows that World Health Org stuff. And there are the smiling children all excited to get their little clip art books so they can just stare at the green pants. God knows what that's code for. I love you all so much. I hope that this makes sense. Board of Directors, Compassion in Action. Wonder who came up with that one. Kills bugs dead, right? Oh my goodness me. So did we get it all? Did we get it all? The equitable education. So it's no longer the word equality. They kind of had that for a while. And yes, we have seen that for a while now. When I was reading, it really started in the 40s and how the curriculum was changed. History class became social studies, which I will call so-so studies. And let me see. Do we have a picture of Sharif? Do we have a picture of Sharif? Well, it's somewhere. Let me see. Here, I think if I go like this and go like this, there is my Sharif. My Sharif. He is an attorney, an academic, he's cultural, he's spiritual, and wish me luck.